Hey traders, it is Matt and Jacey with Empire Algorithmic Trading here to bring you VWAPvision's Stock Talks Weekly Review.
So where we use the volume weighted average price as the best indicator on the market, helps us make sense of the market, who's in control, buyers or sellers. It was a busy week, so let's just get right to it, shall we?
Let's go, buddy.
Time for stock talk. Well, happy Sunday, Matt. It was quite the week this week. We actually got to see some action. The algorithm
I
came to
know.
life. There was actually some stocks in making some moves. So it's a busy week. Let's just get right to it and take a look, shall we?
Let's do it. Yeah, it was really fun last couple days to be like, guys, don't look now, but we have some green arrows, you know?
We got a rally going on here.
I
Let's the
know,
market's
right?
pulling us in. Like we've
Yeah.
been saying, let's let the market come to us, and that's exactly what's happening. So it's quite exciting. We're going to start off with the bonds. Probably going to settle these back down if we continue to see the rally. Hopefully, this doesn't provide much of a concern moving forward. So we'll probably move this down on the list, but we'll just start off today. Nice, comfortably back inside of the range, moving back up. So that sell-off that scared pretty much everybody a couple weeks ago appears to have abated. So let's hope that's the case because that has led to a nice rally inside of equities. So the S&P 500 is quickly approaching its VWAP. That's going to be the first point of resistance. So we got a big test this week. We're running right into resistance. This is the granddaddy resistance right here, and we have big earnings from a lot of really big companies this week. And so it's going to be like we always say, it's a pivotal time. Well, it is. It's literally a pivotal time. So I feel like a broken record, but it seems like every step we're looking right here, it could be a potential landmine or not. So right now, though, the market's looking good. We're breaking out of that zone. We're running right into resistance. There are stocks falling, breaking out across the board, so it's getting kind of exciting. Same thing with the Nasdaq. You got the VWAP from its downturn, its recent downturn. The all-time high VWAP, you got a little double resistance here, is back up here at the 18.6 level. The first level of resistance is around 17.5. So we're running right into resistance, just like the S&P 500. Small caps, same thing, just bubbling right along there. Did break out of its range a little bit stronger, a little bit faster than the S&P or the Nasdaq. And then
Yeah.
same thing with the mid caps. The mid caps are holding up quite well, quite nicely as well, just under resistance. So we want to see a nice push higher on everything. And the VIX, just as you would expect, the stocks rally. That VIX is coming back down to some manageable levels. Still a little high at 24, but we're fastly approaching where we need to be. So I thought it would be good today to do mix it up a little bit to try and let's look at since the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq Composite are both rallying. Let's take a look at the Magnificent Seven, right? So
Okay.
we're just going to take because these are the big boys, right? These are the stocks that influence the market pretty much the most. I mean, there are mutual funds and ETFs that are just these seven stocks. So it kind of makes sense to just check in on these guys. And so a lot of them are not in position. They're still locked in downtrends. They are rallying off the lows, but if you see, they're not even close. Some of them aren't even close to their VWAPs. They're still, like I said, just still locked in their downtrends, kind of across the board. So it's pretty important as well for the general market to see these continue to move higher. But all in all, none of them are in position. Google is probably the best. It's the closest to its VWAP. It's rallied the strongest.
Got a
But
little
you
gap
got
there and a lot
Nvidia.
of volume on that one.
A lot of volume. I think they have earnings last week. I think they did. So that's probably why that is. So it's good to see that. Yeah, that's what that little earnings there is for. But yeah, it's good to see the stock rally after earnings instead of selling off. I think Netflix was another big one that reported last week, flashed a buy
Ooh.
signal. Wasn't on our watch list because the ADR didn't pass the screen, but nice solid breakout from Netflix. So this is what the leadership is, right? Not Nvidia, not Google, not Meta. What we're looking for is stocks like Spotify that flashed the buy
Yeah.
signal for us last week. We're looking for stocks like FEIM, which flashed a buy signal for us last week. Like we talked about Netflix, stocks like Brinker International that are already setting up had a potential to flash a buy signal last week, but it did not. PDEX, this is one of these. It broke out in the red zone, and we're still technically in a red zone, which we could go green easily this week. And then it did a three. I like to call these a three and go. So a quick three down, right below the VWAP, triggering a little sell signal, and then a quick rebound. Those, as the market tends to move, you see a lot of that, and a lot of times they just keep on rolling, and so that's a good sign.
Let's go.
Same thing with ATLC. It's already starting to set up above its VWAP. ADMA, it broke out. It tried failing. It found support. It set up again, like we talked about before, how stocks can set up kind of wrong, reset, and then set up for a nice move. It's still holding on to its breakout. It's about ready to hit into new highs.
All
LOAR
right.
broke out last week. This was a solid one that we talked about. Flashed the quick sell signal, like we said, and then a super strong recovery. It's a little bit more dramatic than we saw with PDEX, but it's the same kind of pattern. That quick sell-off with a strong rebound. That's a good sign. Zscaler, like we talked about during Arrow review,
Yeah.
it's tried breaking out a couple of times. It's been a little choppy, kind of all over the place, but it tried breaking out a couple of times during the red zone, was immediately pushed back. It would be nice if this follows through, then that would speak well for stocks moving forward. We want to see a lot of these breakouts that we saw last week continue to push higher, which gives us confidence for the new breakouts just as we're hitting the green zone. So lots of good stocks setting up to look a lot better than the Magnificent Seven. That's the whole point. So when we run our screens, if it does, just because the news headlines and the chat boards and all that good stuff are following the big stocks like that, we're looking for stocks that are really leading, that are actually leading the market. A lot of our stocks are in the top 5 to 10% in price appreciation just over the past 2 or 3 months. So that alone puts them into elite categories. So that's what we're looking for. So that's just kind of wanted to put a little juxtaposition between the two, right? You see
Yeah.
the mega caps still stuck in downtrends. So overall, you see these leaders that are doing what they're supposed to do, and that's leading. And these are the stocks we want to participate in. So, like Rubrik, it's on our potential watch list.
Hey, there we go.
This is going to be a potential breakout for tomorrow. So, super excited about that. Axon, similar thing. It tried to break out, tried to fail. It never really flashed a sell signal, but then it broke out again. So we've got back-to-back breakouts. Halozyme broke out during the red zone. It did test, and it's kind of holding up, but it's setting itself up. You're starting to get some higher lows and lower highs. So a really nice tightening wedge pattern on Halozyme. Garnet Health broke out last week. It's been tightening up
Yeah.
over the past several weeks, right around its all-time high VWAP. Plus, it also found support. If you look, it broke below and then quickly in one day gained all that back as it broke below that support from this previous base. So again, a nice aggressive chart pattern there. Same thing with WGS, Gene DX, nice solid breakout pattern. And Catalyst Pharmaceuticals, it tried breaking out twice during the red zone, got pushed back both times, but it's holding up. It's hitting right around its VWAP and is trading right below its all-time high VWAP. So you've got some support, and as the market continues to move higher, this stock will most likely break out as well. A little volatile. It would be nice to see it tighten up a little bit, but it's just another example of what a leading stocks looks like. They're already at or above their VWAPs, and these are the stocks we're looking for. On the flip side, a lot of the gold stocks look like this, and this is pretty much a pretty clear looking change in direction. You have what's called the evening star pattern right here, this three-bar little system, for you lack of a better phrase. I'm thinking evening star, right? So you're thinking solar system. But when you have a strong uptrend and then a stock gaps up and then it gaps down and all three of those bodies don't touch, it's generally a change in direction signal. Then you have a bearish candle here where it opened up at its high and then closed down, sold off during the day, and then another bearish candle and then another negative candle. So that's just a change of trend pattern going on there. It might base out or it might visit back down in this consolidation back in the 12 range, and it's currently at 1446. So a lot of the gold stocks almost across the board have this similar pattern, and same thing with a lot of the insurance stocks that were really strong during the red zone. So you're
Yeah.
starting to see some topping patterns in the stocks that were leaders, and they're moving into your traditional aggressive growth names, which I think bodes well overall for this market, for this potential rally. Like I said, there are a lot of headwinds. You have big earnings and then the overhead resistance. That's the big one. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if we see a little bit of selling here or some churning and some shakeouts. But we just don't want to see a total collapse, right? We don't want to see massive selling. We don't want to see a test of the lows. We would like to see that higher low that's now been established hold, and then some tightening around the VWAP, or preferably just keep going, right? So that would be the ideal thing. So all in all, it was a
Yeah.
very, very bullish end to the week. We were talking about that on Thursday, how it would be nice to see just a good broad rally, and that's exactly what we got. Unfortunately, volume was a little bit lower, but price is what pays. So we're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Just starting to put some money to work. Hopefully, we get a green zone this week so we can just go all in and not have to stress out about a whole lot. But for the most part, I bought Roblox last week, and I'm planning on, if more buys continue to present themselves, then I'll probably take on a little bit more risk as well.
Perfect. Yeah, it's kind of that interesting combination where it's the hey, we're still in a red zone. We're seeing some life. We're seeing some stuff. There's a lot of excitement here. We're starting to see those leaders. And again, but yet we are in that red zone. However, earnings. Earnings are such an interesting thing. So we'll see if they are as volatile as it seems like just news headlines have been recently, and we'll see what the earnings are. I mean, we're coming into it was a tough quarter for a lot of people. But I think we're going to get some good earnings reports from quite a few of the leaders, and I think it's going to help out and hopefully just push us over that line. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, it's the visibility. Hopefully, we get some visibility from some of the commentary coming out of the conference calls, and that's what's going to be key. I mean, obviously the headline news, the actual report, but almost always it's not what the company reports; it's what they say that drives the prices. So I'm anxious for that. There's a big PCE that's coming out this week as well. The good inflation report and some other economic reports. I think GDP comes out, or GDP forward, one of those. But it's just going to be a massive week, man. I mean, it could not be any more dramatic for a market enthusiast like us. It
Right?
could not be set up any better, right? You've got a fledgling rally moving right into resistance, just right when all this big news, this big
Yep.
juicy news is about to drop, right? So if you were inclined to bet on a direction, now's the time to do it, right? It's the perfect time. I'm bullish. So if I was going to do that, I would lean more towards the bullish side. But I've learned that I'm not good at predicting the future. I just like seeing patterns and ride those waves. So I let the market come
Yep.
to me and prove. I let the market tell me where to go, right? And so but it's still a lot of fun to speculate. If I had to put any kind of bet down on anything, it would be a little bit of churn, right? I think we're going to see some resistance. We're going to see some initial selling at this point, and some of these breakouts are inevitably going to shake out. So I think there is going to be an initial down, an initial test, kind of similar to what we had in August of last year. A very sharp move down and a very quick move up, but it just slowly kind of rolled over and retested. And it wasn't till mid September, about a month later, that stocks really took off. So
Yeah.
it would not surprise me to see that. Of course, some good earnings reports and some solid commentary could just set the world afire. And next thing you know, you've got shorts covering, and then you got momentum players like us going in, and then it's just mayhem from there. So good mayhem this
Oh,
time though. So yeah,
well,
yeah, it's
I'm,
gonna be.
I'm
I'm
excited.
excited. I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Same, same. And I think I saw the stock that I am gonna give to our followers on our social pages as our freebie for Sunday here. So I'm pretty excited about it.
I think okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see it as well. I think if I was going to speculate on something, I think I exactly know which one it might be. So, yeah, Matt, as always, where can everybody find us if they're interested?
Well, for those of you listening on Spotify or watching us here on YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure that you click the like, subscribe button for us. Spread the word. Get your trading buddies in on here, and let's build a community and have some fun with this. Otherwise, follow us on all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. For more information about who we are and what we do, please visit our website, vwapvision.com. That's VWAPvision.com. And if you'd like access to our algorithms, daily buy and sell signals, you get access to some educational videos. You get to see how JC and I use all of this information in our trading. Definitely subscribe over at our Patreon, patreon.com/ Empire Algorithmic Trading. That's patreon.com/ Empire Algorithmic Trading.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you very much. And as always, it was a pleasure and happy trading.
Happy trading, buddy.
All right, man. Talk to you during Arrow Review. See you in a bit.